But in school, which stories can be your best entertainment until they stop being stories, until they become real, until they find you. Back in secondary school, night prep was a part of life, a dull routine you slipped into like a uniform, tight, restrictive, unchanging. Every evening after dinner, we all trooped into our classrooms with heavy books and heavier eyes, pretending to sleep or study for 2 hours under the flickering, ghostly glow of ceiling lights that hummed and buzzed like they were trying to speak. If you ever lived in a Nigerian boarding school, you know that night prep isn't about studying. It's about surviving boredom, mosquitoes, heat, gossip, and the occasional fear of seniors or spirits, depending on your school's history. To us, night prep was ordinary. Well, until the night it turned into my living nightmare. I remember that Friday as clearly as I remember my own name. The sun had been particularly cruel that day, baking the tin roofs until the walls themselves seemed to sweat. It was last weekend before our final exam started, and the tension in the air felt like it could crack open. I had been studying all day, desperately trying to cram last minute facts into my brain, flipping through dog eared pages with a highlighter in one hand and sheer panic in the other. My head chopped, my fingers ached, and the noisy fan overhead spun with a wheezing moan that never made the room any cooler. By the time night prep rolled around, I was already a shell of myself. My body screamed for rest, but my mind wouldn't stop spiraling over what I hadn't read. The sky was a deep charcoal grey by then, the kind that warned of rain. And as we made our way to the classrooms, the wind carried that faint scent of wet sand and something else, something metallic, like rusted iron or old blood. Still, I sat in class. Still, I tried to read. My friend Ada noticed how drowsy I was getting and chuckled under her breath, nudging me. You better not sleep here before senior catch you. I no fit again, I murmured, voice barely audible. Wake me up in 20 minutes. I just need to rest small. She gave me a slight nod, her eyes already buried in her notes again. Something whispered that I hadn't forgotten, but I didn't listen. I didn't want to be disturbed, so I got up and moved to the far corner of the classroom, away from the lights, away from noise. There was a desk by the wall, slightly shadowed by a leaking louver's window, the perfect place to close my eyes and recover. I crawled into the seats, let my bag serve as a pillow, and surrendered to sleep. I shouldn't have. That was the worst mistake of my life. I don't know how long I was out when I woke up the first time. The light had gone out. Typical NEPA behavior. But the room was far from silent. Laughter echoed from different corners. And someone was rhythmically drumming on a desk. Girls were talking, some were shouting, others were singing. All of it sounded normal. Just restless students using the blackouts as a break. I rubbed my eyes and sat up. There was someone sitting in front of me. A girl, maybe just three though. I couldn't see her face. Her back was turned, posture stiff, hair hanging down her back like a wet cloth. It was too long, too still, too lifeless. Perhaps did they go on? I asked groggy. She nodded once, slow, robotic. Abego, wake me up when it's done, I whispered. I will, she said. The voice was wrong. It was too soft, papery, like dry leaves brushing against glass. Still, my body begged for rest, and I allowed my head to slump against my bag again. But then I woke. This time it was not by myself. Something banged my legs, hard. The vibration traveled through my arms and rattled my teeth. I jolted up, irritated and confused. What is it? I snapped. A voice answered from right beside me. It's time to go to the store. You've slept enough. Or do you want to join us? That voice didn't belong to any student I knew. It was smooth, sweet, sickly, too calm to be real. My blood went cold. I rolled my eyes again, slower this time, then looked up. No one was there. The classroom, empty. The shadow, still. The girl was gone. The noise, gone. I blinked again, confusion settling into fear. Where did everyone go? I looked out the cracked glass of the window. The classroom opposite mine was empty. No movement, no light, no sound. I checked my watch, my G-Shock. 2:30 a.m. What? Prep ends at 10:30. How come I was still here at 2 a.m.? Suddenly, the silence became heavier, almost physical. The air grew cold and damp, like it had been pulled from inside a roll. I tried to turn on my torchlight, my brand new rechargeable one, the one my mom got me during visiting day. Bright enough to light up a whole room, she said. It didn't come on. I tapped it, shook it, flipped the switch again. Nothing. Darkness. Panic rising into my throat, I grabbed my bag and ran. Just as I reached the corridor, the light flickered twice, then buzzed back on with a buzz. I froze. All the classroom on the block were empty, all the doors wide open, all the windows swaying, and then I saw it. A shadow, moving, not walking, gliding through the hallway, far ahead. It didn't look human, more like something wearing a human suit that didn't quite fit. My legs moved fast before my brain gave the order. I ran. Through the empty wide compound, past the junior block and the library, my legs pounding, the tiled floors that felt too loud now, like each step echoed into another world. The trees rustled violently as I passed, their branches shifted in ways that no wind could cause. Some looked like they were stretching towards me, others twisted into faces, angry, disoriented faces, with eyes carved from back and mouths that moved without sound. I saw movement in the bush beside the science lab. Something, no, many things skittered faster than my eyes could follow. And then up ahead, I saw him. A security man, khaki uniform, familiar posture. Relief crashed through me like water through a broken dam. Uncle, I called, sprinting towards him. Please, I overslept. They locked me. He didn't move. He stood with his back to me, arms behind him, held twisted slightly like he was listening. I slowed my step. Something about him felt off. Uncle, I called again softer. He turned, not with a jerk, not with a normal movement. It was smooth, like a camera panning, like a mannequin being rotated on a stand. Then I saw his face. He was beautiful, too beautiful. Skin like marble, teeth too white, smile too wide. His eyes never blinked. Why did you oversleep? He said, his voice like syrup. Or do you want to join us? My heart stopped. I blinked. He changed. 1 second he was a man, then an old woman, then a child, then a baby with eyes hollowed out, then back to him, all smiling, all wrong. I didn't scream, I just ran. I didn't know how my legs carried me that far, but I ran like the dead were chasing me. And they were. I could hear them. Feet, dozen of them, pounding the ground behind me. Laughter, whispers, screeches, and voices calling my name in a sing song. Amina, come, we need you. Ahead, the hostel came into view, and just outside the gates, three girls with buckets were walking out calmly, like it was morning. Their uniforms were perfect, their shoes white, hair long and shiny. But something was wrong. No hostel opens at 2:30 a.m. Nobody wears uniform at night. Nobody smiles that wild. Where are you coming from? One asked sweetly. Come with us, said another, her voice sharp beneath the sugar. I stepped back. They stepped forward. Join us. We need more friends. Their teeth gleamed too sharp. I ran again. The hostel gate was locked. I banged it with all my strength. Behind me, the voices returned. We will love you. They forgot you. Join us. A cold hand brushed past my shoulder. I screamed. I began climbing. I climbed faster than I have ever climbed. I climbed, fell, climbed again, got over. They followed. I couldn't see them, but I heard them, felt them. Their fingers brushing the back of my neck, their breath cold on my ear, their laughter dancing in the air. I ran to my room door. The corridor stretched longer than I remembered. My key shook in my hand. I banged on the door. Open! More voices all around me. They don't remember you. You're one of us now. Come, Amina. I turned. They were there, smiling. I screamed, and everything went black. When I woke up, I was in bed. Girls stood around me whispering. My matron stood in the corner, clutching a Bible. Someone had drawn chalk symbols on the floor. I sobbed. I told them everything. The matron didn't laugh. She took me to her house and kept me there. We prayed. We fasted. We cast out whatever had followed me. But it didn't fully leave. Some nights, I still hear them calling, laughing, asking me to come back. I never slept during night prep again, and I never will.